I mean, personally speaking, I find CIS as a very challenging region for me. The reason behind it is, I will cover it in my slides later on, but one of the things is the language barrier and inadequate information available on the latest updates. So there is a lot of dependency on the local partner there to provide correct information. As you can see, CIS is a Commonwealth of Independent States, and it has the largest land area today in the world. In terms of the background of CIS, it is called as the Commonwealth of Independent States, and these are when the former Soviet Union broke up in 1991 and formed into 12 countries. Actually, there were 15, but eventually CIS was formed by 12 countries, and 3 of them joined the European Union. The Commonwealth of Independent States had its origin, and the leaders of Russia, Ukraine and Belarus were the first one to sign the agreement to form a new association. And then these 3 republics were joined by Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. And then they were further joined by Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia and Moldova. So thereby they become 12 countries together. And the remaining, which were part of the Soviet Union, like Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia, declined to join this organization, and now they are part of the European Union. And this CIS formally came into being in December 1991. So over the years, due to political alliances and affiliations, even within these 12 countries, they are now emerging into 3 groups. The first group, they call themselves as the Eurasia Economic Union, and this consists of Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Armenia. So between these 5 countries, they have initiated harmonization for drug and medical device since 2016. And similar to EU, they have also adopted a national registration procedure, a mutual recognition procedure, as well as a DCP regulatory pathway. So it's exactly similar to what we saw in the morning for the European Union. And by default, like in the morning, we saw that any member state can become a reference member state, but in the EU, people are preferring to submit dossier through Kazakhstan, using Kazakhstan as a reference member state. So they don't want to go through Russia or Belarus because they find Kazakhstan to be more friendly to the industry, and so it is by default evolving as a reference member state. The second group is the Eastern Partnership, which is complies of Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Georgia, Moldova and Ukraine, and they form on the eastern region of the EU, and they are more aligned to join to the EU in the future. Like Ukraine has adopted everything as per the EU guideline, so is Azerbaijan and so is Belarus. So they have already aligned themselves to the EU guidelines, and in the hope that in future EU will absorb them. So between these 6 countries there are no harmonization, they are all national registrations. And the third region which is evolving is Central Asia, and they have Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and this one also has no harmonization, and there is all national registrations. So these are the agencies of the 12 republics in the CIS. There are a lot of challenges in getting information through these websites, and the websites are, some of them are good, but some of them are not at all good, and sometimes it doesn't even open, you cannot even go and see what is there inside. So there are challenges in this. The local company registered with the MOS will be the product license holder along with the manufacturer. In most of the countries, CR countries, the definition and classification of a generic medicine is similar to Thailand. Armenia, Kazakhstan, Moldova and Russia are members of ICH as observers, and they also follow the CTD format. Languages used in the dossier are English is acceptable, but if you are doing national registration, some countries would still insist to have the whole dossier in a local language, but mostly English would be acceptable, and the certain sections have to be in Russian or the local language. Some of them have eCTD platform, but others have to submit as CD, DVD or paper documents. Countries requiring CTD are Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Russia, Belarus, Moldova, Kyrgyzstan. And country-specific dossiers, non-CTD, are required in Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Georgia. And dossier is submitted in hard copy for Georgia, while hard copy and CD in Azerbaijan. And drug samples are required by almost all of these countries, and they would depend on from maybe 300 capsules or tablets up to 500 capsules or tablets, depending on the dosage form. So for liquid there are different, for injectables there are different, but all of them require samples for analysis. The approval timelines across all these countries are 9 to 24 months. And the marketing authorization duration in Russia, Ukraine and Moldova will be lifelong after the first renewal. So the renewal is 5 years after you get the first registration, and once you renew it, then in these 3 countries there is no renewal required for life, and only variations you can keep on filing as and when it happens, but there is no renewal required. And in all the other countries it is 5 years. Ukraine, Moldova, Georgia, Uzbekistan, they fast track the registration if approved in EU, SRA countries. So like we were talking before lunch, that having approval in EU or stringent regulatory authority countries like Australia also, or US, Canada, so it helps not only in developed countries but also in developing countries. It gives you an advantage to fast track the registration. So you save time and you can be early in the market. So the registration fees across this varies from a minimum of $1,500 in Armenia to a maximum of $15,000 in Russia. So all others fall between this range. Ukraine is close to around $9,000-$10,000. So normally you'll find the registration fees between this range.